At the start of the movie, we see Blackwood Pharmaceuticals, which does medicine testing and clinical trials with humans. We see a young girl named Claire who is signed for these tests and goes to a lab in basement. She meets her roommate Allison, who talks a lot, and Claire asks her to keep quiet as she wants to sleep for some time. They are called in the exam room where they meet other volunteers and see their mobile has no reception. Claire is texting her mom to not call her again and messages her, but the message isn't delivered. Dr. Becky comes there and tells everyone that the testing will happen over 5 days and they will be given small dosage of medicine. Every day their dosage would increase and tells them the medicine is safe and they are allowed to stay on this floor only. Everyone takes their medicines and then meet to eat their food. Claire meets Ray there where he asks her if it's her first time and she says yes as she needed the money. Later some tests are done on Claire to check her blood pressure, breathing, urine samples, and heartbeat. While resting in her room, Allison comes there and starts talking again, and Claire feels like vomiting. Outside the washroom, she meets Amir, who is also feeling the same and says this medicine can cure many diseases. He says he is a med student and applied for internship here but got into this test to show his ability as a future employee. At night, Claire isn't able to sleep and gets some visions and goes to hall to see everyone is not able to sleep. Becky takes some blood samples of Amir to test and says that insomnia is a side effect of the medicine and nothing more. 30 hours pass and still no one is able to sleep and they pass their time doing tests and playing games. Claire is playing chess with Allison and sees her book of her drawings and is impressed by her. Becky talks to her seniors and tells that the medicine is causing brain inflammation among the patients. She tells them the brain scan has shown significant change in 1 day, and they are surprised to hear this. Claire and Allison see some mice locked in cages, and Claire says these mice are lucky to have a house to stay and are worth more than them. Becky tells everyone that now they are testing for how long they can stay awake and asks them to contact her if they feel sleepy. While doing an MRI scan, Claire feels claustrophobic and has come visions from her childhood where she was locked in a room. Allison comes to meet her and cheers her up by telling some silly jokes, and Claire laughs with her. Next day, everyone is given more medicine to take as they refuse to take, and Becky comes there. She says they can leave whenever they want, but participants who stay till end will get bonus of 30,000 euros as payment. Everyone is happy and celebrates, but Claire and Amir feel something is wrong. Later, by dancing, Claire feels tired and yawns, and everyone starts feeling the same. Becky tells her seniors that the medicine has ruined everyone's immune system and they must stop the experiment immediately. The senior management tell her to continue the experiment and see what happens with them, and Becky is shocked to hear this. Everyone is discussing how they will spend the money, and Claire feels sleepy and closes her eye. Allison comes there and wakes her and says they can travel together and spend the money. Claire says she won't be meeting her outside, and Allison feels bad and goes away from there. Amir sneaks into Becky's room and uses the computer to look at his brain scans. He is scared and shocked to see them and uses a pen drive to copy the results. Claire goes to meet Allison and finds her sleeping on a chair. When Claire tries to wake her up, blood starts coming out of her nose and eyes, and Allison falls on the floor. Her whole body starts shaking and she dies, and everyone is shocked to see this, including Becky. Suddenly, lockdown is initiated in the lab and the lights turn red and Becky runs from there. Everyone follows Becky, who tries to escape through a closing door but is caught in it. The door closes and one rod goes through Becky and badly injures her. Becky says sorry before dying, and lockdown is completed and the timer resets to 24 hours. Amir comes there and tells everyone not to sleep as they would die. He says based on the scans, their brains are shutting down due to no sleep for 4 days and the medicine is causing this. Everyone tries to open the gate, but Amir says they need to wait for lockdown to get over and get out of here. He says this place is designed in such a way and they need to wait for the timer to go to 0. He gives everyone some smelling salts to use, which helps in keeping them awake from sleeping. Ray finds some medicines to take, but Amir tells everyone not to take any more medicines. He says it would accelerate their brain condition, and they could die, so they just need to be awake for one day. Paul makes a video vlog and Ray make a video as evidence of their treatment here and asks for compensation. Amir does some tests on Claire and is shocked to see the results, but does not tell her and sends her away. Claire makes a video for her mother, who is in a hospital due to liver failure for drinking alcohol. She says she is sorry for not answering her calls, but then decides to delete the video. 16 hours are still left, and Ray asks everyone to give him one smelling salt bag as he has finished his, but they ask him to calm down. Amir is still trying to find solutions and starts getting hallucination of Becky being alive due to not sleeping. Claire has another vision of her childhood and is woken by Marcus when she is about to sleep. She thanks him and goes to the computer to find answers and the scans and her personal file. Her file says she has no one outside and is a good candidate for high-risk medicine experiments. Claire finds Vanessa trying to burn her hand to stay awake, but is unable to do so because she does not have the courage. In the washroom, Marcus hears some strange sounds coming and goes outside to check them. He sees the door is opening and goes inside, and we come to know all this was a dream. Marcus has died the same way as Allison, and everyone is scared and shocked to see this. Claire is upset by this and is also feeling very sleepy, so she goes to the kitchen and purposely burns her hand. She tells everyone that they need to work together and escape from here because the company wants them dead. She has drawn a map of the place and says she has found a wall which could lead to exit. Amir says he knows that breaking the wall won't work as these places are built to prevent escape. Everyone starts working together and they take turns and start breaking the wall. Sometime later they break the wall but find a steel wall ahead of it and are disappointed and angry. Claire says they need to find another wall and try, but everyone disagrees as it would waste their energy. Ray says they need to take the medicine he found to stay awake, but Claire disagrees and says she will talk to Amir to find a way out. Ray wonders how Amir knew about the wall and tells everyone that Amir must be secretly working for the company. Ray says Amir knows more about the medicines and is doing tests on them since lockdown. Paul says if this is true, how Amir is able to stay awake without taking the drug, and they decide to ask him. Claire meets Amir, who tells her he is sorry and gives her a letter to give to everyone. He says he is responsible for lockdown and the place shut down when he copied the files from Becky's computer. Claire tells him not to give up and says he is smart enough to come up with a solution to say everyone. Suddenly Amir gets an idea to make a medicine which will stop blood flow to brain and reverse the effects of old medicine. Claire is happy to know about this and asks him to make the medicine and goes out to inform others. She finds Paul, who tells they can't trust Amir as he has found some medicines in Amir's bag and he is lying. Suddenly the light goes out and they both go to the fuse room to find the switch. Claire starts hallucinating and uses her lighter to turn the lights back on and saves Paul from sleeping using the salt. When Amir comes, Paul asks him about the medicine and he says he emptied the bottles and kept them as a precaution. No one believes him and Ray comes in and hits Amir and ties him up and tells everyone Amir shut down the lights. Amir says he didn't do anything and everyone is acting crazy due to not sleeping. Ray says there must be a secret room here where people are watching them, but Claire doesn't agree. Ray and Vanessa decide to use knife to torture Amir and get the truth from him, but Claire and Paul refuse. When Ray goes to hurt Amir, Claire tells everyone that Amir has a cure which can give them more time. Ray does not believe him, but Claire says she will take the medicine first to test it, and others agree. Paul starts making the medicine, and Claire notices Amir is not well. Vanessa tells Ray she knows Ray switched off the lights, and he says he wanted Amir to sleep to check whether he dies or not. Vanessa says she has another medicine which will put Amir to sleep, and tells Ray to distract others. Later, when the medicine is ready, Paul fills the injection to give to Claire, and Vanessa starts going towards Amir. Suddenly, Vanessa sees herself fallen on the ground and sees a demon and realizes she is hallucinating and already asleep. She starts shaking and dies, and everybody is shocked to see this, and the new medicine bottle also breaks. Amir starts laughing in panic and says they can't be saved now, and Claire goes outside to check the timer. She starts hallucinating and feels she is flying and uses the smelling salt to wake herself up. Suddenly, she finds a fake wall and tells everyone about it, and then uses an axe to break the wall. Paul and Claire go inside and find a lift which could lead outside. Amir sees dead Becky, who tells him to use the knife to free himself, and Ray finds Amir's letter in Vanessa's pocket. Paul says the lift is used to carry bodies upstairs, and they should use it to go outside without waiting for others. Ray comes to confront Amir, who shouts for help, and Claire decides to help him and goes to him. Ray decides to use a blade to hurt Amir, but he frees himself and uses the blade to kill Ray and stabs him repeatedly. Claire and Paul see this and realize Amir has Mad, who chases after them to kill them. Paul goes inside the secret room and locks it, and Claire goes to the MRI room and Amir follows her. The magnet in the MRI machines attracts the blade, and Claire runs from there, saving herself. Paul goes in the lift and activates it, but finds it to be an incinerator for burning bodies and dies in it. Claire goes in a room and finds scissors and waits for Amir, who falls down due to exhaustion. The timer has reached 0 and the door opens, and Amir goes outside and finds some people. They have a gun and they shoot Amir and start searching for Claire to kill her also. Claire manages to run from there and uses blood on her face to hide in a body bag. They assume Claire is dead and take her along with other bodies outside in a van. In the van, she comes out of the bag and the driver sees her and gets scared and crashes the van. Claire opens the door and escapes from there, and we Claire in a hospital 4 months later. On the news, we are told Claire is in a coma and Blackwood Pharmaceuticals was cleared of the investigation. We are told Dr. Becky did an illegal experiment on the patients and Blackwood was not involved and did not know about this. Blackwood says they will continue to come with new medicines to help patients, and Claire wakes up hearing this.